On this Wednesday night, CUSMA renewal rejected. Why the U.S. won't extend its free trade agreement with Canada and Mexico.
I think a lot of it is posturing.
What happens to the deal now? Millions of Canadians and Americans roast under a dangerous heat dome.
This sort of heat wave that's forecast might become something a lot more normal.
As a Manitoba city declares an emergency over unprecedented floodwaters. Death-defying stunt. What these daredevils did after free climbing to the top of one of the world's tallest buildings. And 159 years young and going strong.
Canada's best days are yet to come.
The Prime Minister's pep talk to Canadians on our nation's birthday.
Global National with Donna Friesen. Reporting tonight, Colleen Christie.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. On this Canada Day, we begin with breaking news that impacts the national celebration. Severe weather in Ottawa has forced the cancellation of the remainder of the evening's events, including the planned fireworks display. A thunderstorm rolled in late this afternoon. Organizers say they made the difficult decision for the safety of the public, performers, volunteers, and crews. The extreme heat earlier in the day didn't stop the daytime activities. As David Akin reports, this year's celebration emphasized national pride.
Bonjour, Canada. Hello, everyone.
In her first Canada Day address as Governor General, Louise Arbour picked up on a key theme at the event in the nation's capital, that Canada, a proud country that has faced challenges in the past, has always overcome them.
When hardship strikes, we rally. From forest fires to ice storms, we fight to protect our land and each other.
There was no specific mention of trade troubles with the United States, of wars in foreign lands, or separatist threats in Alberta or Quebec. But there were declarations about the strength of the country.
Let no one mistake our mild manner for weakness. We kneel for nobody. And in the face of pressures, we do not stand smaller, we stand more united, more determined, more Canadian than ever.
Canada is worth fighting for. That Canada belongs to all Canadians, that Canada's best days are yet to come.
Carney praised the courage and conviction of Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, who in turn reinforced the day's key message.
The thrust that drives and propels Canada upwards is our can-do attitude. We accept smart risks, we persevere in failure, and ultimately our grit pushes us beyond the frontier.
Now, the Prime Minister's official program for the day is not yet complete. After the ceremony ended here, Prime Minister Carney went to the airport, and he will conclude Canada Day 2026 at a community celebration in Edmonton. Colleen.
David Akin in Ottawa. Thanks, David. It's official. The U.S. says it's not renewing its key free trade pact with Canada and Mexico. The decision triggers an annual review process and likely tense talks to amend the deal. The three countries met virtually on this Canada Day, braving the heat in the nation's capital. Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada's best days are yet to come.
And we're building Canadian, with Canadian workers, Canadian steel, Canadian know-how, Canadian values.
Touria Izri reports on the new level of uncertainty around CUSMA.
An unwelcome message from the United States delivered on Canada Day. The Trump administration declined to extend the agreement underpinning North American free trade.
Now we're really going to get into the hard discussions and the bluster.
After a virtual meeting with trade representatives from the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, the White House said it did not agree to renew the USMCA, or CUSMA, in its current form. The decision does not kill the deal. Instead, it triggers annual reviews and a 10-year clock to its possible expiration. The Canada-U.S. Trade Minister declined Global News' request for an interview, only issuing a statement where he reaffirmed his unwavering support for CUSMA. Mexico also wanted an extension.
No tenemos ni prisa.
We are not in a hurry, said the country's Secretary of the Economy, but we are not interested in uncertainty either.
We've not seen the kind of urgency that the Prime Minister should be bringing to concluding this deal. They've been trying to play the long game on this, and they've misfired. And I fear that they've misfired at a cost that the Canadian public is just being forced to pay the price for.
Expectations for a full renewal were already low.
It's irrelevant to me. Canada would love it. Canada wants it.
It wasn't always irrelevant to Donald Trump, who negotiated the agreement himself.
We made a tremendous USMCA deal, Mexico and Canada.
We have the USMCA is a good deal for everybody.
Trade experts say the move fits into a familiar negotiating pattern from Washington and is likely a way to pressure Canada on so-called irritants like supply management in the dairy sector.
We're not at the edge of a cliff here. I think a lot of it is posturing, but realistically, I would expect that Canada and Mexico will entertain negotiations on those concessions.
This is not the so-called nuclear option, which would let any country withdraw from CUSMA with 6 months' notice. But it does create more uncertainty, a word that's come to define this trading relationship. Colleen?
Touria Izri in Montreal. Thanks, Touria. That storm in Ottawa isn't the only challenging weather in this country right now. A heat dome has parked itself over the eastern half of the continent. Temperatures hit 36 degrees in Toronto today, but it felt more like 46 with the humidity. It's even hotter south of the border, where, as Heidi Petracek reports, authorities are taking the danger seriously.
New York City is under a heat emergency.
I have activated the city's heat emergency plan, and we will issue targeted warnings.
And this Detroit area water park closed because it's just too hot.
And just to make sure people are safe, especially children, older adults.
Officials have advised residents to avoid going outside and urge those who do to wear sunscreen, keep to the shade, stay hydrated, and watch for heat exhaustion.
We're primarily thinking about the fatigue, the lightheadedness, the muscle cramps, the GI upset.
It's only 10 a.m. in Washington and it's already 30 degrees Celsius. There's a heat warning here throughout other states as well in the United States. And the temperature is only going to continue like this through to Saturday, which is July 4th celebrations. How are you managing in this heat?
I made a wrong decision to get a hot chocolate.
DC is so beautiful. It has a lot of trees and so you can find a little shade.
In World Cup host cities, players and fans are also battling the scorching temperatures. Wednesday's game in Atlanta played as thermometers reached 34 degrees. FIFA's 3-minute hydration breaks are welcome, although sports experts have urged FIFA to extend them in such hot conditions. As Torontonians marked Canada Day under an orange heat warning, the city is also preparing to host its last World Cup game Thursday under the same extreme temperatures.
Thank God it's like drinking water.
This comes on the heels of deadly and record-breaking heat in Europe and the 5-year mark since a heat dome in British Columbia killed more than 600 people.
And that's the risk that we're under when it comes to climate change, is that this sort of heat wave that's forecast might become something a lot more normal.
High temperatures and humidity, even at night, means little relief from this heat dome for the rest of the week. Heidi Petracek, Global News, Washington.
A second major rainstorm in less than a month has led to serious flooding in parts of Manitoba. Several towns have declared states of emergency. Many roads are washed out and people are struggling to pump excess water from their homes and businesses. Catherine Dornian reports on the serious situation.
My neighbor right here is truck is in the water.
Joseph Laquette was one of many people in Dauphin trying to pump water out of a basement.
This water's not easing down the way it looks. I don't know why. It's not going down. It's just the same the way it was. But yeah, that was about 9-10 inches.
The city declared a local state of emergency in response to an overnight rainstorm that brought over 110 millimeters of water. It's one of 30 communities to do so, and over 50 provincial roads have been closed in the region as well. The province asking people throughout the Parkland region to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary.
We're seeing delayed impact in terms of some of these roads, which can look passable at one moment and then all of a sudden be impassable and put people in great danger.
Anyone having a medical emergency is asked to stay in place and call 911. The Dauphin Regional Health Center evacuated 57 people and 1 infant, with patients being sent to Brandon. This flooding event coming just weeks after another major storm flooded parts of the area.
So when you combine those multiple events, some areas received over 450 millimeter precipitation. So this is almost 5 times the normal for that period of time.
Around Swan River, which was still recovering from the last flood, most roads are washed out and the people in the most affected areas are being evacuated to safer parts of town. The province saying floodwaters there have not yet peaked and to watch the town's official channels for updates. The government saying they're prepared to support more evacuations if needed, and they're setting aside $5 million in advanced disaster funding that municipalities can access quickly. This as local officials wait for the floodwaters to recede to fully assess the damage.
It's a bit of disbelief, but at the same point, everybody's trying to help each other out here, and we're just trying to move forward, and hopefully we get some drying weather here over the next few weeks.
There's no rain forecasted for the region over the next few days, with locals hoping for any reprieve they can get. Catherine Dornian, Global News.
The U.S. president profiting from cryptocurrency. Coming up, how much he's made and whether he's breaking any rules. An apparent death-defying proposal atop the Empire State Building ended in arrests today. 2 people managed to climb up the skyscraper's spire, which soars 443 meters above Manhattan. The pair then appeared to get engaged. They have not been officially identified, but the couple revealed themselves on social media, showing off a diamond ring. They're the stars of a Netflix documentary called Skywalker's A Love Story. A wedding and charges are pending. New eye-popping numbers on how much the U.S. president has profited since taking office. Donald Trump's mandatory financial report for 2025 shows he made more than $1 billion from his crypto ventures alone. But as Candace Cole reports, proving any illegalities may be difficult.
U.S. President Donald Trump amassed more than $2 billion in revenue from his family's holdings, according to his public financial disclosure report filed with the U.S. Government Ethics Office Tuesday. The 927-page document showing at least $1.2 billion came from Trump's crypto ventures.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting.
This as his investors have reportedly taken significant losses. According to the filing, Trump earned over $526 million from World Liberty Financial for so-called governance token sales. The Associated Press reports another $600 million in profits from CIC Digital for selling Trump-stamped souvenir meme coins. But the profits Trump has gained are now raising concerns over possible conflicts of interest and violations of the emoluments clauses in the Constitution, which bars a president from taking gifts or payments from individuals, states, or foreign countries. But legal experts say enforcing those clauses could be tricky.
Because the Supreme Court has never really weighed in on this, we're not exactly clear where the law stands. There can be civil cases against the president if somebody can show that they have been harmed. There can be criminal cases against the president if the attorney general brings them.
U.S. presidents in the past have bypassed the emoluments clauses by putting their business assets into a blind trust. But for Trump, his sons are managing those assets. Just before boarding the new Air Force One, a $400 million jet gifted to Trump by the Qatari government, he told reporters,
We gave it, I think it's called a blind account, but they take it. And I never speak to any of the people that run the money.
Trump previously faced 2 lawsuits over emoluments violations during his first term in office over his self-named hotel in Washington, D.C., hosting foreign diplomats during state visits. Candace Cole, Global News, Washington.
Village People lead singer Victor Willis has died. The iconic 1970s disco band announced on social media that Willis died on Thursday, 1 day before his 75th birthday following a short illness. He and the group famously performed their biggest hit, YMCA, at Donald Trump's pre-inauguration rally in January of last year. I'm too old for this. Hollywood actor Danny Glover says he has Alzheimer's disease. The 79-year-old was diagnosed 3 years ago, shortly after receiving an honorary Oscar. Glover, best known for his role in the Lethal Weapon franchise, says his movement, speech, and memory have slowed and that he's still coming to terms with it. Glover's career spans 40 years with more than 170 film and TV credits. He also won 5 Emmys and 4 Grammys. Ahead, new accusations of horrific war crimes in Sudan and fears the atrocities could spread. In Mexico City, celebrations over the team's latest win at the World Cup took a dark turn overnight as huge crowds packed into the city's core. 4 people died of suffocation as people tried desperately to escape the crush. Mexico City's mayor estimates 1.4 million people were out celebrating the win over Ecuador. New accusations are being made against Sudan's Rapid Support Forces during the country's devastating 3-year-long civil war. An international human rights report says the paramilitary group committed crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansing. And as Redmond Shannon reports, without international interventions, there are fears the crimes will be repeated.
The war in Sudan has displaced 14 million people, but those who've fled to the city of El Obeid still fear for their lives. When water tankers arrive at the camp, we worry RSF drones will hit us, so we grab water and run, says this woman.
The window to avert a wider escalation in El Obeid is rapidly narrowing.
The United Nations fears more atrocities from the paramilitary RSF group based on what happened last year in the city of El Fasher. Their concerns reinforced by a new Amnesty International report which alleges a long list of crimes against humanity.
Murder, forcible transfer, imprisonment, torture, rape, sexual slavery and other forms of sexual violence, enslavement, extermination, and persecution.
Amnesty spoke with 247 people about the RSF's battle for the city of El Fasher against Sudan's military. Among them, a 15-year-old girl who witnessed the execution of men and boys, the killing of women who resisted rape, and the shooting of young children. As well as being targets, the report says children were forcibly recruited. Amnesty also fears it is about to happen again.
We are invoking now the responsibility to prevent genocide.
The report recommends increased humanitarian aid, support for the International Criminal Court's efforts to hold the RSF accountable, an end to arms sales to the RSF's alleged main backer, the United Arab Emirates, and a new international protection force in Sudan. Canada has condemned the RSF's actions, but last year Ottawa and the UAE struck a $70 billion investment deal. On Friday, the UN's Human Rights Council meets about the situation in El Obeid. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.
Russia says it's considering importing oil products to help curb its growing fuel crisis. Ukrainian drone attacks on Russian oil refineries have triggered a rare fuel shortage. Exports of gas and jet fuel are banned, and rationing is in effect for more than 40 regions. Russia is one of the world's biggest energy producers. President Vladimir Putin says the shortage is temporary and not critical. How Taylor Swift's mystery wedding is expected to influence weddings for years to come. Next.
The most gloriously over-the-top celebration of music on earth. Dozens of countries, hundreds of millions of viewers, one unforgettable show. It's about to get even better, even wilder, because the world needs more Canada.
At festivities in Ottawa today, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced Canada will take part in next year's Eurovision Song Contest. It's the first time in more than a decade a new country will be added to the world's largest televised music competition. Next year's contest will take place in Bulgaria, which won this year. A big event is happening in New York this weekend, shrouded in some mystery. There's widespread speculation it's a wedding. Activity around Madison Square Garden is fueling rumors that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are getting married there. The couple has not confirmed a date or location, but as Jacqueline Hansen reports, the eventual nuptials are expected to impact the wedding industry for years.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding.
Let's discuss because
However, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce say I Do could shape what other couples do for years to come.
This is an iconic, huge, like North American kind of like royalty wedding that's happening, and it's going to change the wedding industry for sure.
If the couple shares even a glimpse of their wedding, planners, designers, and florists will study every frame.
Whatever they do, no matter like down to the smallest detail, it's going to be replicated somehow.
Welcome to the Eras Tour. Swift is a proven global influencer. Consider her Eras Tour. Every single costume recreated by Swifties around the world.
Her engagement photos are already inspiring other couples. The florals and the antique-style engagement ring, wedding planners say clients are asking for similar looks.
This is kind of what I envisioned for Taylor. So like a bubble skirt bottom, a full corset, full lace.
One Vancouver designer sketched what she thinks Swift might wear on her big day. It's not the first time she's taken cues from the singer.
I heard you calling on the megaphone.
The Fate of Ophelia, one of Swift's newest songs, inspired the Ophelia gown.
I always loved the Shakespearean story, and then when she kind of did her twist on it, I was like, here we go, like this is the moment.
As for the dress or even dresses Swift chooses,
whatever she wears is going to have a huge effect on what brides are going to be asking for in the next several years. I don't even think like this upcoming season. I think for many years.
One part of the wedding that likely won't be replicated is the price tag. Rumors suggest it could cost tens of millions.
I cannot wait to just like get a bowl of popcorn, watch it, and then dissect it all. And then figure out how I'm implementing it for everyone else who's not a billionaire.
One walk down the aisle could shape many more. Jacqueline Hansen, Global News, Toronto.
And that is Global National for this Canada Day. I'm Colleen Christie. Lots of people are taking time to celebrate Canada's 159th birthday. From parades in Osoyoos, BC, to a pancake breakfast in Edmonton. We leave you tonight with Canada Day festivities from across the country. Thanks for watching. Jeff Semple will be at the anchor desk tomorrow, and I'll see you again on Saturday. Happy Canada Day.